Okay, it's Bob again, Trade Genius. 18th of August, I'm going to talk wheat. So, I've been really concerned about food prices and grand solar minimum and so on and so forth. And it's one of the areas that I have been spectacularly wrong on in terms of the price of the agricultural crops. And, the expectation is that the grand solar minimum is going to basically take out farm production. And I'm sure it will. It's just that it apparently during the transition period, there's other regions of the world that have become favorable growing condition areas, like Russia, and so I wanted to show you today, though, is that the price of wheat, and of course I can monologue on how the climate catastrophe nuts just have it so incredibly wrong. And just as a perspective, since I've already went sideways on my conversation, is that we're actually closing in on consumption to supply, but there's still a 20 million metric ton difference between what the world eats in wheat and what the world produces in wheat. And there is nearly a 10-year stockpile of 258 million metric tons of wheat out there. Now, two things are happening. One is that gap is closing. Number two, the purpose of my video, and then number three is stockpiles can't last forever. They basically they rot and they spoil. And so what I want, and then we can go into a year like 2012 where you get a huge dip in production that could just throw the whole thing out of whack. And so I want to look at opportunities here. And I just want to show you this chart here. This is 2012. This is the last time we had a big spike in the price of grains, caused the Arab Spring, by the way, and prices have been just going down ever since. Our dollar being strong doesn't help our farmers in this regard because this is priced in dollars. And then now I'm going to zoom in, and as I zoom in here, I'm going to hit auto here, is to show you this area here. This is the lowest wheat has ever been priced at $4.82. And so now we made a little bit lower high here, but my expectation is that we're not going to make a lower low. And I think this gives you a really good risk reward going into an opportunity to maybe make 10 or 20% on your money. So my thinking is that Russia right now has been the swing producer really holding the price, and the Volga region, you can Google it, is being inundated right during their harvest right now with rain, and it's been cooler. And so they're going to really struggle. And all the crop reports, which have been putting pressure all year on the price, has been saying they were looking for another surplus of production over consumption. If this comes in at all, it's going to freak people out because people are still pushing down price, and I think we're going to see a nice pop. And so what I'm looking for is that if we get a crossover here, which I expect that anytime, maybe next week or two, is that to go ahead and buy WEAT and maybe not take a full position, take a half a position, and if it does come down, again, add to it, because you're really at a floor where production will go offline because people just can't make the money. Okay, and then you got to realize too, some of this stuff is cheap wheat, but it's not good quality wheat, and so some of the places people won't just buy the wheat at all, and that comes out of production too. So that's what I'm looking at here on wheat. Is I'm gonna wait for the turnaround, and so this thing turns, and I'm not gonna do it on the weekly. I'm gonna do it on the 4 hour. Here is and it's already starting to show that it's getting there, but it's this was the crop report, which people are pretty pissed about because it says that the harvests are going well, and then everything I've been reading from the farmers are saying differently, and so that gives opportunity for us. I think this was the USDA doing their normal hatchet job, like they do with gold and silver in other markets, so that the 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 middlemen can get product cheap. And so I think we hit the floor right here, and I think this is a good opportunity to buy. And then, like I said, if you want to, then hold off and see if it doesn't try to make another lower low, and then I think you're in really good shape. And then what I'm looking for is a pushback, at least a 10% move, maybe even move back up to here. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys some ideas. I'm going to throw it on the watch list now, and see if we can take advantage of it. And this is going to be irrespective of really what happens in the market. These commodity prices have been just destroyed, and if we do anything to weaken the dollar, these things will rip too. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, if you want to trade with us and join a room and get more insight, tradelikeagenius.com. We'd love to have you. The things we share with you more than pay for itself in the fees that you pay to be with us. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye-bye.